Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today's video is all about the newly dropped Stegron. He is a absolute beast of a card, super sweet looking lizard, dinosaur looking guy, and the font, I gotta give a shout out to the font. The S with the spikes and the tail looks incredible. Anyway, Stegron is a 4 cost 5 power. On reveal, move an enemy card from here to another location. If you watched any videos on my channel, you probably know that I'm a huge Magneto fan. I love the ability to be able to alter your opponent's board state. Such a fun combination of powers with some of these cards in this game that can do that. So he fit right in for my playstyle, so I picked him up immediately and I threw him in a deck. So this deck is going to be all about shenanigans on our opponent's side of the board, moving things, controlling things, etc. So outside of him, we're obviously going to be rocking Magneto, got the sweet baby variant, who obviously moves on reveal all opposing 3 and 4 cost cards to this location if there's room, which is great. We got Arrow, who will move the last enemy card played on this turn to this location. She's gone through some changes, so that's her current version at the time of recording for today. Outside of that, got to rock my boy Kingpin. He's a 3/4. When a card moves here on turn 6, destroy it. So this essentially allows you to, if you do end up getting to push something to the Kingpin location on turn 6, you will then kill that card. So there's kind of a lot of ways your opponent can play around this. They can just play things at that location on turn 6, so Arrow can't move that card there. They could fill up the location where Kingpin is to do it, but Stegron adds another option to actually trigger this on turn 6, which is super fun. As opposed to them just easily seeing Magneto or Arrow coming, Stegron can have a really cool aspect with that. Outside of that, I'm adding all the movement shenanigans. I'm throwing Juggernaut in here. On reveal, if your opponent played cards here this turn, move them randomly. So he essentially will disrupt wherever your opponent played, if whatever cards your opponent played at his location, and shove them to various other locations. Super fun card. So that's all the movement cards. I'm going to kind of break down the rest of my choices here. So I'm running a Storm package. So she floods a location. So she essentially locks down a location. You get 1 additional turn to play a card there, but then that location gets locked. So what I can do is, there's a few different things. I could move cards from there to a different location with Magneto, or I could end up shoving cards into there with things like Juggernaut or Stegron. There's a few different options, but well, the really cool thing, a really well-known combo, is playing Storm at a location. She floods the location, and the next turn, that's the last turn that cards can be played there. Well, playing Juggernaut is a great option on top of Storm, but now playing Stegron is also a really good option on top of Storm. He's got 4 power, and if there's already a card there, he'll move that card. If your opponent reveals first, he can move that card to a different location. Lots of fun shenanigans by able to just like win that location by moving your opponent's cards from it. Obviously, Jessica Jones is another option for Storm locations. She can just get a nice 8 power there, so you have that option as well. And that's still in this deck. If you want to replace her with something, you definitely could. So outside of that, I'm running a couple other just cheesy 2-drops. I want some big power 2-drops. I'm using Star-Lord, who can get a possible 5 power if you predict where your opponent's playing a card, which is really good. I'm using Lizard for another 5 power, and also your opponent has to have 4 cards there, but if I can move things around, I can try to shenanigan my way out of that negative ongoing effect of his. And then I'm using Scarlet Witch for a location stop. If things can't be destroyed and Kingpin's at a location, or just any odd scenario that I really don't want to happen, I can try to cancel it out with Scarlet Witch, which feels great. Then I'm using Captain Marvel at the top end. She will move to a location, and if it wins me the game, if possible. So essentially, if I do end up screwing myself a little bit by locking out a location or moving his cards, I still have a kind of panic button in Captain Marvel, who can just move to any location that she needs to and win me the game that way, which is really solid. And then lastly, certainly not least, is Killmonger. He will destroy all 1-cost cards. I'm not running any. I'm just running 3 2-drops and 4 3-drops, which you could move some things around and kind of play with that ratio, but I like to run 0. Killmonger then will kill all of my opponent's 1-drops. He's a really good counter for like Thanos stones, for Ultron, for Flood decks, Khazar decks, etc. But he's a really good for actually clearing my opponent's board a little bit, so I have the ability to move things around on their side if I need to. So if my opponent plays 2 1-drops early, I can kill those 2 1-drops and then still have spots left on their side of the board that I can move things in and out of with the shenanigans things that I have going on in the rest of the deck. So that's the list, guys. It's all about this guy. He just came out, so obviously you might not have him yet, but he did pop up in your shop today because there's a new update where he's guaranteed to show up in one of the slots of your token shop, which is great. So if you did happen to pick him up, hopefully you will try out this deck and tune into the gameplay that I'm about to lead into right now. But if you didn't pick him up, this video can serve as a kind of a reminder of how powerful this guy is going to be, and you could you know, maybe get some ideas of kind of the decks you want to build around him when you do eventually get him. So without you know, getting rid of anything else in the way, let's jump right into some gameplay right now. Alright, so we got Lizard, Juggernaut, and Captain Marvel, and New York is out, so on turn 6 you can move cards to this. He's a really good counter for that location. He's just Kingpin. He essentially just shuts down that location, makes neither of us be able to move cards there on turn 6, which is fun. I'm going to drop Lizard in the middle since Pet Mansion is going to force me to do so. And then I'll just go ahead right away and drop Kingpin on the left side. I'm assuming he's going to kind of avoid that location for now. It'll give me some nice perks to be able to kind of play that here, and then it kind of turns that off, but I can later put some things there. Oh, so we got a really nice Storm here. I think I'm going to drop Storm in the middle, or on the right, I mean, here. And then I have a couple different options. I could either play Arrow on top of her if I need that extra power there, or I could play Juggernaut there to disrupt things if I draw anything else, or I could kind of shift and play something to the left or right. So we're going to go with Storm here. She's going to shut down Vibranium Mines. He didn't play anything there, which is great. And he played Zabu now. So I could play Juggernaut, or I could even play Stegron, but I'll probably play him later. I'm probably going to go with Arrow. He's going to move the last card. Although he could play... It's going to move the last card over here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go with Arrow. So if he plays anything on top of that, I'm going to move it this way. If not, then I'm going to win that location anyway. Alright, he's got Devil Dinosaur coming down. And now it is turn 6, so if things move here, they're going to die. So he's got Devil Dinosaur, who's going to be up 15 power and then go down by 1. I can play Juggernaut, or I can play Stegron and have him get booted somewhere else, which could be quite fun. I think I will go with... It's kind of interesting right now. If I do Magneto, Cosmo's going to come over here and get destroyed. If I do Juggernaut, I'm going to push things out of here to a different location, so that could screw me at the Storm location. I think I'm just going to go with Magneto. It's just a kind of safe bet. It's going to pull Cosmo. Cosmo's going to die, which will be great. And then I will be winning the middle by 3 at that point, and then I gotta, if I win just those two, that's fine. I win the middle and the right, but I'm also competing pretty heavily for this left location by adding 12 power to it. So I had a bunch of different options there with Juggernaut, Stegron, Captain Marvel. I had a lot of different things. I'm just going to go with the simple Magneto play here and hope for the best. Feeling relatively alright here. It's just a 2-cube game, so it's nothing too crazy, but let's see if we can pull it off. My opponent's really thinking this is a tricky situation for him too, so I wouldn't be surprised if he retreats at the end of it. Alright, he's playing something. He's playing Darkhawk and Mystique. Interesting. So that's a lot of power, but Magneto's going to kill Cosmo and Darkhawk, which is going to be insane, and I think we'll win all 3 locations. So that was a rough call for him, dropping 2 cards that Magneto can pull, but at least Mystique was at the location already, but we got to blow up 2 things of his board, and then we got to win the other location. So pretty standard win there with like a Storm, Magneto, and Kingpin strategy. Felt really good. Let's try to get some more. Alright, we got Star-Lord, Arrow, and Captain Marvel, and the Lizard. So we got Cloning Vats, so things are going to get copied when I play them there. Cards are going to cost 1 more on turn 5. That kind of hurts us a bit. We're going to go Star-Lord on the left, see if he plays something at Cloning Vats as well. Alright, that's great. So Star-Lord's going to get 5 power, and I'll get a 2-cost 5 with the ability to get even higher, which is great. So really good card for that type of location there. We're going to go Star-Lord again at the Cloning Vats. It's turn 3, he plays Shocker, so I'm expecting it to be a Patriot deck, so I'm expecting him to play Patriot on Cloning Vats. So now we got an 8-power Star-Lord. Alright, we're just showing off Star-Lord right now. That's all this whole game's about. Just some Star-Lord action. I mean, we could just do Star-Lord again, or we could play Kingpin. I think I'll do Star-Lord and Lizard here. See if he plays another card at Cloning Vats. That would be hilarious. If he plays another, I mean, he might want to play another Patriot there. Which is pretty damn funny if he does. Star-Lord will have, it'll be 11 power and I'll have an extra one. He does! Alright, so we got an 11. I don't understand. Star-Lord is just ripped out of his mind right now. Alright, another Patriot comes down. and a Misty Knight comes down. Alright, so we gotta see. He's got another Patriot comp probably coming down this turn. I can only play one card, and I can play something like Arrow next turn. So I could do the Kingpin thing here in the middle, and then try to pull the cards here. I think that's my best bet here. So I'm going to do Kingpin here in the middle, and my next turn will just be Magneto. Pull over anything that is available to come to the space, depending on what he plays here. Hopefully both Patriots can come here, but we'll see. So we got Kingpin, he's got Thing. Alright, so guessing he's playing Ultron on the left side is the guess. That leaves him with 8 power there. The Star-Lord army beats that. And then if I kill both Patriots... Oh, but he reveals first now. That's not good. He reveals first now. That is unfortunate, actually. So we have to go with the Killmonger, which is fine. I mean, Killmonger will work. So I'm going to go Juggernaut in the middle. I got to do Killmonger first. So Killmonger is going to get revealed first. And then I either could just do another Star-Lord here or a Star-Lord on the right. Or Juggernaut. If I go Juggernaut in the left, if he plays Ultron on the left side, he will then kick that Ultron after Killmonger kills everything. But I think the safer bet is just do Star-Lord here, and I'm going to win the right side location anyway. Alright, never mind. He's playing 3 things to the middle. What could this be? Another Mystique, another Patriot, a Mystique, and then a Wasp. So the army of Star-Lords is going to win this game for us. Just Star-Lords out the wazoo. Alright, well, you know, sometimes you win games by playing Star-Lord on top of a bunch of cloning bats. That sometimes happens. Alright, so we got Lizard, Killmonger, Stegron, and Captain Marvel. Not a bad curve out in general. When I play a card here, I can give my opponent one of those. I'm just going to go with Lizard on the left. I like Lizard at things like Sewer System and stuff, because he, you know, who cares? I mean, that's funny, comes from the sewer. But if he has -1 power, my opponent has to play a lot of cards to stop that, so I kind of enjoy that. I'm going to go ahead and play Storm here to shut down the X-Mansion to stop any random shenanigans from happening. Alright, so he doesn't care about X-Mansion. He's going to play Bast. He's going to have 0 power, but buff his hand, and he's going to play Jeff. So Jeff could move over here. I'm going to go ahead and just do Juggernaut here on turn 4 on top of Storm, assuming he might play something there and then try to Jeff it. So Jeff can move once. If you're not familiar with Jeff, he can move 1 time, and nothing can stop you from moving or playing him to any location. So it doesn't matter if the flood is happening and it's already a flood location, he can still just move there. Alright, Juggernaut goes off and kicks the opponent to the middle. It's Storm as well. Interesting. So Storm comes down as well. So that location is flooded. I definitely need to get Captain Marvel out here, but I think moving this Storm is really, really fun. So I'm going to go with Stegron here, and I'm just going to boot the Storm to a different location, hopefully to the left, so she's only 1 power, or even to the right would be fine, because I'm winning that by 5, so Jeff plus Storm ties it. It's interesting. Yeah, we're going to boot the Storm. Let's see. Oh, no, we can boot the unrevealed card. Okay, so we booted the unrevealed card, and it's Luke Cage, who counters the sewer system, which is hilarious. And now we're at turn 6, and 2 locations are flooded, and we're winning both of them. Stegron doing some absolute work right now. Super interesting. I think my safest bet here is just going Captain Marvel, so she can move to wherever I need to get the win. I could easily also just go Magneto, and that would pull Storm from the middle over. And because he has the option to move Jeff to the right, and that would win him that location. So he could win the right location, and then he could possibly win. I think I'm just going to Captain Marvel and just let it ride. Let's see. So yeah, Jeff's going over there, like I said. That's going to give him 6 power. But he drops the Wasp, which has very low power, and then Valkyrie, which puts everything to a 3. But Captain Marvel should be able to move to the right location and get me the win there. Yeah, that's huge. Great game. Great game. So yeah, that's the power of Stegron. Super fun to do that. Be able to throw my opponent's card over to the right. You see Captain Marvel just kind of comes down. Could have dropped Magneto. Valkyrie would have countered that pretty good. I would have pulled Storm over. I would have lost the right. Yeah, I would have lost with Magneto. So glad I went Captain Marvel. It's nice when you're shutting these locations down and shifting your opponent's board a bit. Captain Marvel is a nice card in the back pocket to be able to jump wherever you need to get the win still. So that is the deck, everybody. That is what I'm currently playing with Stegron. It's a little bit cheesy. bully, kind of a trolly type deck, but it's super fun to play. Very controlling, can really, you know, mess with your opponent and what they want to do in really fun ways. So hopefully you found some enjoyment out of this. If you did, leave a like to the video, leave a subscription, leave a comment about what you're playing with this guy and how excited you are to get him. And as always, keep on snapping.